Everybody want a nigga dead. Soon as I am born, I'm in debt. That's why I keep running from the feds. So if you shoot me, make sure that I'm dead.
I'm talking about sampling records.
What's up, YouTube? It's the Movie Detective, and I'm here to inspect, dissect, and give you an introspective look into the world of movies, TV, and anime.
America runs on Bolivar time.
Do you know what that just was? That, my friends, was the world's first television ad. Crazy how a 10-second clip can change everything. Influence another half-century of culture. But with the increase in commercial breaks, both in quantity and time allotted per slot, have commercials gone too far? I think it is finally time to have the conversation. Are commercials killing the viewing experience? To answer that question, we have to look at commercials in their totality and figure out how we got here and if it's too late to turn back. You are watching Detective Documentaries, and today we are going to do a deep dive into the evolution of commercials and how these commercials influenced the rise of streaming service platforms. And if these streaming companies aren't careful, those same very commercials will usher in their death as well. But before we get to all that, let's go back to the beginning so we can get some insight into our common enemy, which is the dreaded commercial break. The first official paid television advertisement came out in the United States on July 1, 1941, over a New York station, WNBT. It was before a baseball game between the Brooklyn Dodgers and the Philadelphia Phillies. The announcement was for Bulova watches. It cost the company just $9, $4 in air charges, and $5 in station charges, per the publication report. The 1940 inflation rate was 0.72%. The current year-over-year inflation rate from 2019 to 2020 is now 1.18%. So that means $9 in 1940 is equivalent to the purchase power of around $167.39 in 2020. A difference of $158.39 over 80 years. These days, national TV commercials cost around $8,000 on average. The Super Bowl cost around $5 million for 30 seconds. The first TV ad broadcast in the United Kingdom aired on September 22nd, 1955, over a decade later. And they advertised toothpaste. And in Asia, the first TV ad broadcast appeared in Tokyo on August 28th, 1953, also advertising a watch company, in which it displayed a clock with the current time. This was the first commercial carbon copy, but it was the original Bulova advertisement that kicked off an industry that has grown to generate tens of billions of dollars per year over the last 75 years. The ad was only 10 seconds long and was seen by about 4,000 people in New York City. Now, The average ad time has almost tripled since then, and the viewership has increased to the millions. A lot has changed over that time span, but as much as they have changed, it seems a lot has stayed the same. Let's take a deeper look at those similarities and those differences.
I run 17 miles every morning. People ask me how I keep my teeth from chattering in the wintertime. I leave them in my locker.
Listen, if you can run a mile, run a race. If you can beat your friend one-on-one, beat him. Steal it. Take it. Sorry, girls. Now, take your talents to the streets. Beat the street court legend. Let's go. Beat that guy. Hold on. We've been waiting for this. That was nice. Good luck with that.
You see, Nike hasn't changed that much over the years. They still use the same slogan, just do it. In Coke, they still have some rando sipping their product just like they have been for the last 70 years. I mean, nothing has really changed. Or has it? I feel these older commercials had a sense of community. It felt like Coke was your neighbor. In Nike, they had this ma and pa feel to it. Walt Stacks, he felt like he could be your grandpa or your great uncle. I feel like these companies have lost the most important thing, and that is the connection to the consumer. I feel so distant from these corporations in their ivory towers. They don't care about the community anymore. All they see is dollar signs. These commercials have traded quality for quantity. It's clear. Commercials have slowly taken over. But the increase in commercials has undoubtedly negatively affected the quality of our entertainment programming. For each hour in a broadcast day, advertisements take up a fairly large portion of that time. But over time, commercial breaks have become much longer. In the 1960s, a typical hour-long American show would run for 51 minutes, excluding advertisements. Today, a similar program would only be 42 minutes long. A typical 30-minute block of time now includes 22 minutes of programming and 8 minutes of advertisements. For example, a television broadcast of the 101-minute film, The Wizard of Oz, 1939, for instance, in the early to mid 1960s would take 2 hours even with advertisements. Whereas today, a telecast of the same film would last anywhere between 2.5 to 3 hours, including advertisements. Because of this, it is common practice, and I repeat, it is common practice to edit films to fit within that time allotted. So they are editing out quality content so they can make room to sell a product. This is despicable. This is disgusting. This is egregious. Over the course of 10 hours, American viewers will be shown approximately 3 hours of advertisements. Some people watch 10 hours of TV in one day, some in a week. And if you don't watch TV that often, maybe you watch 10 hours of TV in a month. But in those 10 hours spent watching your favorite TV show, you would have consumed 3 hours of ads. That's twice the amount one would have seen in the 1960s. If a 1960s show is rerun today, the content would be edited by 9 minutes to make room for more advertisements. This is disgusting to the original creators, the original content creators. I hope you see now why commercials must be rebuked. They are getting out of line. They are taking away from our content and must be eradicated. But like a Baylor athlete, these commercials just keep following us. Since the dawn of radio, commercials have always followed the viewer. From radio to TV to movies, ads have always gone where the eyes go. But then, in 2007, there came along a hint of hope, an unlikely savior, a silent guardian.
Silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight.
A hero chosen to defeat the commercials on the promise of ad-free streaming whenever you want content. It was a movie lover's fantasy. It was Comcast on demand, Netflix. Streaming platforms were advertised as an alternative to commercial-filled television, as an ad-free, safe space.
Lie detector determined that was a lie.
And due to the increase in cost of cable, you had a lot of viewers pull the plug on TV. But were we deceived? The average Netflix subscriber spent over 2 hours a day streaming Netflix content in 2019. Network television averages 18 minutes of commercials per hour, and this number continues to increase. With no commercials, 2 hours of Netflix saves users over 36 minutes of ads daily, or 219 hours of ads per year. Over on Hulu, a 30-minute show will play one ad beforehand and will have 2 ad breaks during the show, amounting to roughly 5 minutes of total ad time per episode. An hour-long show will have an ad at the beginning and average 5 ad breaks per show, amounting to about 10 minutes of ad time. Of course, you can upgrade to premium to remove these ads. But now, the cost of subscriptions are starting to outweigh the cost of cable. I don't know about you, but I have Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Crunchyroll, HBO Max, Amazon Prime, Apple TV Plus, and Tinder Gold. That rivals my cable bill. And I still have to deal with the ads. So, are streaming services boxing themselves into a corner? I am not going to pay extra to unlock a feature of your product that was the sole feature in which you sold me on. And now after I sign up, there's a paywall to get to the ad-free zone? Streaming services, you betrayed us with your ads.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness!
I know someone who has a Hulu Live account, and he has told me personally there are certain programs he doesn't even watch anymore because he has to sit through 280 seconds of ads. It simply makes the show unwatchable. This is ridiculous and will kill streaming, especially if there are ads that long and you really aren't saving that much money on price with all of the content being divided between the various networks and everyone wanting their own streaming service. CBS Plus, get out of here. I mean, come on, that has to be a joke. I'm not paying to watch CW Plus. I'm not gonna pay extra to watch the CW Arrow DC verse. That's a joke. One final point before we wrap up this episode of Detective Documentaries. How many of you have seen an ad for the recent PlayStation 5 restock updates on television for Walmart or Best Buy, for example? It is the hottest product of the holiday season by far, and the website crashes every time new stock is available. But how many ads have you seen letting the masses know what time and when stock will be available on TV? Probably very few, because there aren't many, if any.
Now listen, that's called motherfucking bars, nigga. You know nothing about that.
I make this point to show that TV ads are not pushing the number one products like they used to. TV ads are a dying breed, and companies must evolve or face extinction. That is why companies like Walmart have pushed their advertisements online to platforms like Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, because the good companies are following the viewers, and the viewers have moved online. The world is changing, and the age of e-commerce is among us. TV ads are a thing of the past, and companies should rethink the dollars they put behind a dying form of advertisement. I hope some streaming platform executive is watching this video and understands we can defeat ads connected to our programming entertainment once and for all. But if they do not cut the ads, the consumer will cut the cord. I hope you found this episode of Detective Documentaries entertaining, and be on the lookout for episode 2 and the Fargo Theory video coming soon to a laptop near you. Thank you again for tuning in. This has been The Movie Detective, and I'm here to inspect, dissect, and give you an introspective look into the world of TV, anime, and movies.
I'm talking about sampling records.
Hopped in the booth, nigga, tell me what the word is. I won't sign a deal, they can't tell me what my worth is. My team deep, think my corpse is back. They say that real rap is dead, I think rap is back. Think that they lied to you, I got my finger on a pulse. Single for a little, oh that's little more than lost. Usain Bolt these jokes like relays, and in slow motion catch the laugh on the replay. Just to tell you how I really feel, tell you how I feel inside. Do this for the feeling the feeling when you really die. I told my niggas take the cap off that, pack it backwards, I might just have to backpack rap. Used to be scared just to play my music compared to the ones who do it. Wanted to be the best and see the future that I influence, and now I'm looking up.